we are back to talk about some Naruto, and I've actually kept myself away from most of the stuff that's been coming out of Naruto. I talked about like one screenshot that came out, which was a very long time ago when they first announced it, and now I'm starting to see like what spoiler pictures of what exactly it's looking like, and also as well seeing a bit of this. And I've got to say, with this one, especially this Mitsuki little like spin-off chapter that they got, which, you know, I absolutely love, this like focusing on Kishimoto. And then we've got the Boruto one, which is being supervised by Kishimoto, but you've also as well got like a different artist who actually was, I believe he was like one of like his assistants during like the entirety of Naruto. So I'm going to get started off with the Mitsuki one, and then I'm going to kind of give my thoughts about the Boruto stuff as well, because I know a lot of people have some opinions about that. So I'm going to be starting off, we get to see Mitsuki is completely passed out. He's like, what happened? I have no memories of anything, what's going on? And you get to see Savagezweipanda and Orochimaru is like woken up, and we see that this is already at the time where Orochimaru decided to become a woman, like again, for no reason, because like even Mitsuki is at this point, he's like, are you my mom or are you my dad? I don't know. it's like okay, like is there a penis down there or a vagina? I'm not like specific, like what exactly is going down on there. And it's like exactly like we got to see with like Suigetsu saying like this is the 6th time that this has happened and all that, like with Mitsuki saying like, you know, who exactly am I? And seeing that, you know, there's like this guy having a smoke in a cloaked hood is like definitely there's something up with him. And literally what we find out is like Mitsuki like seems like he remembers at least like his ninja skills from what we saw. It's like he immediately like got attacked by like, so he gets it with a kunai, and it was like immediately he like wrapped around the snake and he was trying to like stab him, and it was like, I just did it out of like instincts, that's all I did. And it's just like, you know, I uncontrollably just like did this. And he's like, well, that's a good thing for the matter of fact. It's like, well, at least you're like a ninja, like, and we'll be pretty disappointed if you lost those abilities of being a ninja, because, yeah, like, Orochimaru, like, you know, be mighty disappointed if I wagered that. I gotta say, though, throughout this entire thing, is like, Suigetsu, especially from, like, how he's just gone from, like, Suigetsu as a character, I never kind of expected him just to kind of stay with Orochimaru, be like, I'll stay with him, like, all the scientist stuff. I'd imagine he'd just be the guy that just goes rolling around like some fucking vagabond or something like that. He's just like, I'm just gonna like roll around, I don't give a fuck, like chill around. Like still like him seeing him as like an actual just like exploring around scientist, I find it weird. And then we get to the actual meat of the story, which finds out we're trying to find Mitsuki's memories because this massive ninja has got the ability to actually steal others' abilities, and we call him Log. And he has this fort tearing jutsu, and he's like, basically, we just want to get him because it's like, yeah, like he steals ability, and he's like, there's a bunch of memories that we need there, and that's dangerous and all that. And it's like, by the way, and like, you're special because you're my precious child. And it's like, you know, and I've got to say, like, Orochimaru, you can still see the little dick sides of him there. And he's like, you are a child, you will listen to what your parent says. Now do as I'm told. And we see like what exactly like Mitsuki's specialty is, because like you've forgotten about this ability and all that, but one of the things that you specialize is removing barriers. And he's just like, oh, just like with a palm, he's just able to do it. It's just like, yeah, now there you get to see this logo. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was like from the land of iron at first, because exactly he just looks like a samurai, but it's like, no, he isn't. He's just like this ninja known as. And it seems like from like last time he was able to use like a paralyzed like jutsu to like control them, and it was like, oh no, like it didn't work this time, even though it did work on like Mitsuki. It was like just like Orochimaru going in with the sword. He was like ready to go in, summoning the snakes, and I was like, yeah, that's some real good shit that he was actually doing into this. And I was like, that's pretty like clever actually. Like he was even using like a ninja actually to like control him by doing like this armor eating one, like trying to like take him over. And it was like, you know, I like allowed you to escape last time like easily and all that, but this won't be the case today. And he's like, yo, Mitsuki, you got sage power, the reps is up to you. And I'm like, yo, like I was thinking like, are you gonna see like fucking Mitsuki and like Sage mode or this stuff? I was thinking, okay, let's go, and I can confirm that we definitely do. And I've got to say, his swan looks so much more badass than what fucking Kabuto's one. Like Kabuto's was like the whole little dragon like thing, like oh like the snakes. Like I think that right there, like Mitsuki's transformation when he breaks apart, like that was really badass. I love that transformation, and finds out that was really the big important part of the chapter. And Mitsuki's still being paralyzed. He was like, I can't do anything. I won't be able to do anything with this. So it's like, and it's like, yeah, get out of the picture, you little brat. He's now about to like cut him up, and it's like, oh, the snake inside of his mask, he was like able to bite him. That was able to paralyze him. It's like, trust me, it takes everything in my body right now to talk to you. And it's like, I need you to do something, Mitsuki, like that. It's like Log saying, like, remove my mask. and we find out that he's an older Mitsuki. It was like, I was created years before you, and it's like, out of all of this, it's like, basically, we're out of this project where these two vessels at the time were called Suki and Me, and thus we were named Mitsuki, and we're synthetic humans. And the whole thing about him is like, I'm trying to hide away, it's like, you know, in all like this case of like embryos, and I was supposed to dispose it, and I first needed the key which Orochimaru was carrying, so I was trying to bait him out, and it's like, we're not supposed to be alive, we're artificial, we are abominations to the human world, we're not supposed to be like alive. It's like, you know, I like you, was crazy, like, you know, it's Orochimaru's son, and I particularly talented, but I escaped the palm of his hand, and now, you know, he saw the replacement in you. And like, Orochimaru's like kind of defense and all that, saying like, you are both children I've created and all that, and I love from the bottom of my heart. And it's like, you know, guess what? You have power like that's dormant, you know, and you can exceed your own. It's like, you know, like eagerly, you know, like I've seen like the day of your creation. It's like, you know, like how much you guys are fucking like amazing and powerful and all that. Like, you guys can be of use and stuff, and it's like, you know, and he was even saying, is it truly like like an actual like curse, or is it like something against ninjas not being able to have a child and not being able to, like, you know, do love? Like, is that something against it? And it's like, is this supposed to be your like justification on the matter, like for your like conduct? It's like, no. And it's like, out of the end of this chapter, it was like, you must put a stop to Orochimaru, Mitsuki, and it was like, no, or like, you got to see Orochimaru, no, come with me. Like, it's saying, no, you come with me, and he's just like, you know what, he just snapped, and he's like, which of you goes makes no difference, and going into Sage mode, and this is the one thing, it's like, I'm glad that we finally get to see what exactly with Mitsuki, because like, in the movie, we didn't really get to see a lot of him. He was like, a lot of people kind of agreed that he was the kind of thing in the movie that kind of got left behind. I mean, he isn't even in the actual Naruto, like, Storm, like, game, like, the last Storm game, and it was, like, very confusing. So, I'd like to maybe say maybe they had some plan, like, even though this is kind of going a little bit off topic, maybe this could now be a thing in the game, like, it's like, oh shit, I can go in Sage mode, or maybe it's like, you know, they could do something with this, because I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I think Mitsuki's one looks way more badass than actual, like, what Kabuto does, because he has, like, the snakes rolling around and, like, all the spirit, like, I love that, like, these chakras, like, it's like a combination of, like, kind of Hina, it's like, you know, like when she's able to like bring out the lion's fists out there, like with the chakra. I love that when she does that whole transformation like that. I love that. It kind of reminds me of that, and it just Mitsuki's like, you can't tell me what to do. This is my idea. And it's just like, and turns out and all that, it's like, this was all just a test all along, just the Mitsuki to activate Sage mode. And he's like, and we find out the person all along that was having the smokes was actually Long. And then like, they were asking like, what did you exactly leave it there, Orochimaru? He's like, oh, a picture of the sun, you know, it's just seeing that, like, you know, so now he'll be able to, like, he gets to choose his own life and all that. And he's like, I, like, really don't want to keep, you know, rather not use these drugs to erase his memories again. I don't want to keep doing this. Like, I want him to get strong, you know, let him choose his own path. And it was like, in the end of the day, he found the result saying, like, I should choose, like, the third option. And he sees a picture of Boruto, and that's pretty much how he pretty much came to the village and all that. And it's like, either, like, I'm guessing, like, how this happened, I'm guessing that this doesn't happen so much time, like, kind of, like, before Boruto, like, before the movie. I'd like to say this happens sometime during that, because I'm guessing and all that, like, this, obviously this is before he becomes a ninja, so this is going to be taking, I'd like to say a couple of months maybe before Boruto, I'd like to say it takes around about some time about that. Boruto and all them already had some, like, you know, knowledge of Mitsuki, they already know about him, it was like, so I'm kind of curious and all that, like, coming into it. Now, to talk about the Boruto scans that have been coming out of the art, like, being raw, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I knew, like, people's reactions was going to be this exactly, like, they were going to be, like, complaining about the art, because it's Kishimoto's been art, like, you've seen the art for over, like, 700 plus chapters, and, you know, this is what you got, like, even when he came back and he did, like, the little one volume, like, spin-off and all that, and you got this as well, and it's like, either way, like, regardless of the art, like, even if it was done by fucking Miura or the Vagabond dude, like, even if that was the case, like, I think people still would have complained that isn't Kishimoto's art. I mean, he's looking over to make sure he doesn't fuck up or anything like that, but I don't like how some of the characters look like. Yeah, that's the one thing I'll definitely say about it, like, some of those characters look rough as hell. But I feel like I'm more interested, like, especially with me and all that, like, and most of the time, one thing that really goes into me with, like, liking the story, especially in this manga format, is definitely its art style is one thing I take a lot critically into it. I'm not looking at this art style, though, and I'm not like, I can't physically read this, like, you know, this isn't like Hunter x Hunter kind of stuff, where, like, Hunter x Hunter's art will look like fucking booty cheeks, but how the characters look like is, like, really, yeah, it's rough, I will say that much and all that. So it's like, I don't know, like, what's going to be happening with this, but even still, I am going to be talking about the Boruto stuff when it does come out. I am looking forward to it still, but yeah, taking away from the art is a big crux already to the start of it, and that's without knowing exactly too much about it. For all the Mitsuki thing was like, I thought it was great. I honestly enjoyed it. I've seen people having like, oh, it sucks, and I feel like it's just fucking Naruto, like fucking hate it's just coming out. It's like, it's just one chapter like that. It's like, you can come away with it not even seeing it at all, but then some people won't be like that, like even when they get a free fucking chapter. That's just how fucking selfish some people are. I know, like, that's just how, like, how ignorant they are, but even still, I enjoyed it. I'm looking for, I hope this comes out in some format or something like that. Like, maybe this might be, like, if, like, a Boruto volume comes out, I'd really like if this is, like, one of the first things you get. It's like, here's a nice little special with, like, Kisimoto in it. I hope that's the case with this, because I would like to own this format, and I still need to own, like, the last couple of volumes of Naruto, so I am looking forward to owning that and the Scarlet Spring stuff, but I think it's fine. I think it's like an 8. I think it was a great stuff. Like, it was a nice thing, nice to see about Mitsuki. The fucking Sage mode, though, that was hype. I really enjoyed that. But that's all from me. So if you loved this chapter as much as I did, hit the like and hit the subscribe. I'm looking forward to the Boruto stuff. Art-wise, I know, but we're going to be waiting like once a month for that stuff. So maybe during that time, you'll be able to fix this art throughout that. But we'll have to wait and see. But that's all from me. So thank you much for watching as always. And I'll catch you guys next time.